Unlock Your First Six Figures morning show. I am your host, Shay Cannon. I'm an award-winning fractional chief operating officer with an exclusive clientele of 6 and 7 figure CEOs. However, I have a mission, and that mission includes you, entrepreneurs and small business owners who are spinning their wheels and struggling to get to their first 6 figures in business. I want to help you to make the money and create time freedom. That's make the money and create time freedom. My freedom looks like living and working my business from anywhere in the world. Let me go on and confess. I just hit my chest so hard when I said my freedom, Jesus. Okay, let's get that breath back. Okay, my freedom, without slapping the shit out of myself, is I live and work my business from anywhere in the world. I'll spare you the journey of where I've been in 5 years. Just know I'm living my best life and working my best business currently in Mexico. Jesus, I might need to file a claim. What happened? All right, so Blog Talk has already gone out there. What we've been talking about all week are the answers to the data that has come in from top resources about the 2024 biggest challenges facing small businesses. So we have weather storms from 2023, but hold on tight because we got a few more in 2024. I've been doing the research on the challenges and what small business owners are going to face, but I've been doing this kind of all year long, right? So some of this stuff I've kind of been getting y'all ready for, right? What people are just now coming out and talking about, I've been talking to you about for months. But I got in the data from top sources like the U.S. Chamber of Commerce, the Small Business Administration, Forbes, Inc., and other places. Kind of combined it all and got the top 4 challenges they said we're gonna be up against this 2024. So on Monday, we talked about economic and financial challenges, okay? If you want to know what those challenges are and our answers to them, go to Monday's replay. We went deep with it, okay? 9 resources we gave you, and plus we talked about what your particular struggles are. On Tuesday, we talked about support to open your capacity, okay? We even talked about opening your capacity for a little growth is different than scaling. If you want all that information about what those challenges are and what solutions we talked about, and even some of the ones the ladies talked about, then you need to go to Tuesday's replay. On yesterday, Wednesday, we talked about ineffective marketing. Ineffective marketing. Some of y'all don't market anyway, and some of y'all are marketing ineffectively. Okay, so we talked about some solutions to that. We talked about the ladies and what they're going to do to stand out more in this new climate of marketing. Okay, today what we're talking about, I just messed up my go back, stupid. Okay, there we go. Today the challenge that we're talking about is low sales. Low sales, right? So if you think ineffective marketing would get you few sales, some businesses create a lot of content, don't even ask for the sale, right? And it's not that every piece of content you're supposed to ask for the sale. It's just that some of y'all out here just giving, and never ask. Never at all ask for the sale. I know some of you are introverts. I know some of you are just creatives. Y'all just like helping people. You like creating stuff, right? But a business is not a business until it starts making money. So you got to ask for the sale. In fact, that's the least thing that you can do is ask for the sale. All right. So get over yourself and let's start asking for the sale. Now, that's a few of us. Most of us are out here asking for the sale and we just ain't making no sales, okay? So what we need to do is we need to know that once we're inviting the right people to engage in conversations of value and information of value, then they are primed, right, to pay you for the solutions to their problems. But this is the thing. Your job is simple. You should be helping them to make a buying decision. That's everything that you're supposed to be doing. Even when you're giving them information of value, even when you're giving them content of value, engagement, all the things, you should be helping them to make a buying decision. All right. The like, know, and trust is real, but at the end of the day, we're helping them to make a buying decision, and we want that buy to be with us. Okay. So sales. You have 4 resources in the blog. Okay. One of them, which is the week that we talked about the psychology of sales. Okay. We talked about the psychology of sales, and we even did a rewind on that week because it was so good. So go back to that resource. Some of you don't know how to create a marketing campaign, right? Because it's not just about you saying, hi, these are 3 tips, buy my shit. No, it's not about that. You have to actually have campaigns. And I gave you a basic one, right? And so you can go back to that blog post. Also, that once a month campaign that you're doing is not enough, right? You have to be selling every day in one form or another. So guess what? I gave you a resource. Secrets to selling every day without feeling weird, because y'all know y'all be feeling weird. But yes, we should be selling in one form or another every day. Okay. So here are some questions, because the question I'm going to ask of you is, what do you feel like is getting in the way of your sales? Okay. But let me give you some stuff to think about. All right. So, understanding and reaching the target market. Can you describe the challenges you face in identifying and connecting with your ideal client base? Because sometimes that's why you're asking for the sale is not working. Sometimes y'all asking the wrong person. Just saying. The sales process, right? I need y'all to know that sales is a numbers game. Okay. Everybody you ask for the sale of is not going to buy. So if the average rate is about 10%, and you know you want to sell 10 people, you should know that the numbers game is you got to get in front of 100 qualified people to get 10 yeses, right? It's a numbers game. So think about that. Okay, Tracy. Look, you scared me right there, Tracy.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Look, today is just full of surprises, isn't it? So you got to know your sales process. You got to know your numbers game. How many people you need to get in front of, and how good of a closer are you? Once you know your closing rate, you know exactly how to make your money come in. All you got to do is get in front of the right number of people to get the right number of sales to have the money that you needed. That was your goal, right? But some of y'all aren't getting in front of enough people to even know what your closing rate is. Okay. So you might have to start with the average closing rate of 10%. Mine is higher, right? Yours may be higher, but you got to get out here in this game and see what your numbers are. Okay. Let's see. Are you building and maintaining relationships so that you know exactly who is primed to buy? If you were in the organic marketing workshop, you already know what that means, right? You know who people at bottom of funnel are the ones you should be asking, and nobody else. Okay. Nobody else is really primed to buy. Others, you can tell them what you have for sale. You can let them see what you have for sale, but it shouldn't be your expectation that they buy because they haven't been quote unquote primed, right? So let's see, is there anything overcoming specific sales objections? Again, I hate to keep bringing up this amazing workshop, but those ladies were given an actual resource about overcoming objections, right? So you need to know how to overcome objections to get the sale. They were given resources and a whole section on saving the sale. Okay. But you need to know that when people say, oh, it costs too much, or I don't have any money, that's not the actual objective that you have to overcome. The actual objective is you haven't shown the value. That's what it is. Very few people don't actually have the money, because guess what we do? We rob Peter to pay Paul all the time when we don't have enough money. So we could rob Peter to pay Teray, okay? We could, but Teray would have to show us the value, right? Time. You need to know how to overcome the objection of time. Oh, I don't have time to do that. Oh, I don't have time to get the best value out of that. Do you have a overcoming objection for that? Think about any objection you've ever heard and what is the proper answer to that, right? I love Alex Hormozi. Alex Hormozi teaches all the time about sales, and he's one of them gun-ho salespeople. So what he says is he don't even study overcoming objections, because he just used their objection right back at him. Anything they say, he uses right back at them. Oh, I don't have time. Oh, I know you don't have time. That's why we can't let this go on any longer. Now is the time to buy so that you won't be in the same place next year. I was like, oh, okay. Right. So a huge part of selling is overcoming objections, y'all. So you need to have a sales process. You need to know sales tactics. You need to be specific about the value. Y'all stop talking about these features. Right? You're going to get a video. You're going to get this many meetings. You're going to get this many downloads. Nobody cares about that. They want to hear about the transformation. Stop speaking features and speak transformation. Okay. The only time people are going to ask you about those features is once they give you their money. Then they're like, oh, how are we getting this transformation again? Yeah. That's the only time they're really going to ask that. So any other time before they give you the money, it should be all about the life that they could have with your solution, right? It should be all about putting your finger in the gunshot wound of that problem they are having because they don't have a solution. Okay? So you ladies ought to be ready by now. Let's see. Over on the Facebook side, Dania says, "Good morning, everyone." The Mo man has come in. He said, "Good morning, ladies. Man in the house. The questions you ask are more important than the answers to give. Easiest way to overcome their objection is with their own words." That's from Mo Washington, the resident sales copywriter. Okay, ladies, I've given you enough time to think about it. So we're going to start with Heather. Heather, what are the problems that you're having with sales?
The two biggest objections I hear are the time and the money. But to overcome the money objection, which I address before anybody can say it, is, there's payment plans, it's not, whatever, that sort of thing. And then about the time, a lot of people are like, "Oh, I just don't have the time." But I address that also by saying I'm creating time for you, right? Like we're going to do this together, and we're going to do it at this time on this date and this time on this date. And that's that.
Yes.
And so then, but I also just was thinking, like, something I've been hearing is when people are like, "I don't have time." It's like, yeah, but you just spent an hour doom scrolling on TikTok. So you do have time. It's just, how are you spending it?
Exact same thing with the money.
Yeah.
Did y'all catch that? Same money and time. They got both. It's
They
just
got
how
both.
are they spending it?
Right.
How are they spending it? So guess what? If you show how important something is, people make time and they find the money. Okay. And we're not talking about you being a con artist selling ice to Eskimos. We're not talking about that. We're talking about you extending an opportunity of a solution to somebody who needs that solution, could benefit from that solution, and helping them to understand that if you were truly looking for a solution, you would buy in, right? Cool beans. Mo still over here talking. What he said: "Try keeping the payment plan bullet until they bring up money." So basically what Mo is saying, don't even bring up payment plan until they bring up money. But I think he's talking about with phone sales, because most of us have our payment plans on our website. So don't forget that, Mo, while you over here saying stuff. But yeah, Teray, what has been some obstacles to sales for you?
First, can I make a comment about Heather? Whenever what I learned about selling door-to-door life insurance is that whenever they talk about money, it's not about money at all. It's not. You need to hit their pain point. So whenever they're saying, "Well, I don't have the money," what they're saying is that they'd rather spend their money on something else. So whenever you hit that pain point, it makes it a priority, and they're like, "You know what? You're right. I need to do this and I need to do it now." So then you create a scarcity type situation. Like, yeah, now is the time and this is why, but hit their pain point. But anyway, my biggest issue with selling right now, and for those who were not in the organic marketing workshop, I apologize because this might sound confusing to y'all. Selling every day and doing multiple campaigns per month seems like it's going to use more than my 15% of my MoFu. Because basically, if I'm selling every day, that's the group that I'm selling to, not tofu, not bofu. I'm selling to MoFu, but I'm only supposed to use 15% of my time. 70% should go to tofu, and it's not selling. So to me, that's the biggest obstacle, because campaigns and all that nurturing just so I can ask for the sale, it takes more effort than 15%. So help us with that, please.
No problem. So, in the blog post, you in that how to sell every day without feeling weird, there are answers to that, because it's not just you selling every day out of your mouth using your time. That's what funnels are for. That's what automations are for. You see what I'm saying? That's what advertising is for. That's what other ways of selling come in. It shouldn't always be you. And as you grow and scale, that's what a sales team is for. All of the things, right? So it's not just you. Now, when you're looking at the Foo Fighters, the top of funnel, middle funnel, and bottom of funnel, that bottom of funnel in Foo Fighters, you're really only talking to the people who have been primed from your middle of funnel, right? That's not going to take more than 15%. It's not. And so when you look at, okay, I have this amount and let me get 15% of that, then you know what you're supposed to be doing in that 15% of time. So you still have the container of 15. Now, how productive are you going to be in that container? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So some of that is going to be that you need to get some automations up.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Some of the automations that you have up and some of the funnels that you have up need to be optimized. Some of y'all's funnels look like, thank you for registering, right? See you on this day. We're 1 day away. Hey, join us now. And that's the end of the funnel. Where is the selling that could be a part of that funnel? Where is the reminding them of the offer that you pitched at what they attend? You see what I'm saying? So there's more to it than just us out of our mouth saying, Heather, you know, you need to come to this retreat. You need to do this. You need to do that. You know, it's more than just that.
Mhm.
So does that make sense?
Yes.
And I know you just forgot about that part. You're like, dang, why I asked that?
Yeah, well, but you said that what is that's where the stress is, because I'm like, I know I need to make these funnels, I know I need to make these automations, I need to create this campaign, but I should be using 70% in my top of funnel, and so I'm struggling with time, as you know. So
But the struggle to me and that how you're saying it is not time, it's the pressure you're putting on yourself and what you're doing in that time.
right,
Take that pressure
right,
off,
exactly,
right? Because if you in this 15%, you only got the 15% container. So again, you are giving the prompt of like what's gonna make the most sense for me to do to get to the money. And so we're doing those things first each time. Each time.
Mhm.
That's why you have a 30-day plan, right?
Got it.
Yeah.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
first of all, take the pressure off of yourself and don't change your container.
Got it.
Yeah. Cool beans. All right. Keith Mon has joined us over here on the Facebook side. Good morning, Keith. Stacy is over there. Dr. Stacy from Africa is over there. I'm here listening. Good morning, ladies. All right, Tracy, what are the problems that you have with sales?
I think the biggest thing is I'm sharing, not selling, assuming that if you want it, you'll buy it. So it's kind of like the fear of a no. And so my problem is I'm not always selling, and I'm not maximizing my bottom of the funnel.
Gotcha. Gotcha. So I'm gonna tell you, I don't think it's that you're not maximizing your bottom of funnel. I think it's I think it's you're not recognizing what is in the bottom of funnel, if that makes sense, right?
Mm.
So when you say you're sharing, 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 that tells me you're good at middle of funnel. Now, and that's assuming that you're sharing to, you know, you're always getting new people to share too, because sharing, sharing, sharing to the same people is not growth, right? So you got to have your top of funnel, bringing in more people all the time, and then you share, 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 which is what you're already good at. But that's why in the workshop you got these line items that say this is how you recognize the people that are ready to drop down into the bottom of funnel, right?
Mm-hmm.
So how many people do you have based on those criteria that are dropping down, and how are you reaching out to them? So how are you identifying them and how are you reaching out to them? Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's all you got to do. Put it in practice, man. That baby, that organic workshop, that thing need to go for $9.97, and I don't mean $9 either. But yes. But that did that answer the question or the obstacle that you raised today?
It did, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool beans. All right, let's go to Glow. Glow, what problems are you have with selling? Let's let Dr. Stacy in. What problem are you having with selling? And please pick one business because you know you be trying to push in all three, baby.
I'm gonna go with the problem that I feel like that I have problem with selling is with conversation with Glow podcast merch. And the reason is because I don't push it out enough. Um, and you kind of hit me when you was like, you know, when we sending out the email funnels or whatever, we're not selling. And that's me. What I'm doing is that I'm just like, okay, well, I'm letting them know like who's the next guest and this and that and the third. But I never thought about, you know, save 10% on on the conversations with Glow merch. I never thought about selling within that email. So I feel as if that's going to be something new that I also add in as well too.
Exactly. Ask for the sale, right? You got to start with asking. You can't even get any of the other data until you start asking for the sale. So most definitely, and don't forget, you need to be wearing these t-shirts during the broadcasting of it. And the t-shirt that you wear could be the t-shirt that you put on sale, right? And the t-shirt that you wear could have something to do with the conversation. So while they're in there fighting for their side of the conversation, there's a t-shirt that they could buy, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And I know this don't have nothing to do with it because I do wear my shirts. It's just the fact of how I have my camera position. Like you can't see that I have it on. So I got to figure that out so I can, start doing that. Thank
Yes,
you.
ma'am. And also, just like almost in this picture I'm looking at of you, have the message of the tea, most of the message up high, right? I've started putting most of the messaging on my t-shirts up high around my neck because I know it's not really showing the middle of my t-shirt. So yeah, keep that in mind when you're designing. All right. So Dr. LaFera, what problems are you having with selling? Come off the mic and let us know.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So, all right, with this new offer of tracking health and wellness with a journal after I've spoken or podcasted or whatever, I haven't really had objections, but when I did something similar to this before, it was money. Like, because people would come to me saying that they had issues, with their health, and they wanted to eat better, which is what I was teaching at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And like even lawyers and stuff would come to me like, and then I tell them the price, which is nothing compared to like what we have to pay for stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then like I wouldn't hear from them again. And I would be on Facebook all the time, like doing cooking demonstrations and everything. So they saw, because that's why they contacted me. I didn't contact people.
Yeah.
And so I eventually stopped doing it because I was like, I'm not making money doing that. And then I started selling lashes, and then it was like, well, I don't wear those. But then you were in my funnel. I didn't ask you to join. So, but like now, I am working on a lead magnet that, in addition to going back and doing mostly wellness and a little bit of beauty on the, after I get them into the wellness side,
Mm-hmm.
I'm offering in the lead magnet reasons why they're where they are, why they're over 40 and they have health issues, or why they are experiencing um uh body changes that they don't like, or that they're not comfortable with, and what could be the problem that they're not addressing as far as like food and inflammation that's causing that. And so I will be going over more of that, like after the lead magnet in the email sequences, and like showing them what it could look like, after they're not facing those issues anymore. And then I created a framework. Mine is called the PTR, Plan, Track, and React. And so like whenever I do talks and all that, like I'll be focusing on that, like, because that's basically what I did.
Gotcha.
And so if they don't see the value in that, then they're not ready to change anyway. And so
let's
then
address two things that you said before you go too far down the road. The first thing you
Okay.
said is, you were cooking, right?
Yep.
And you would have these discovery calls. You would tell the people, what you had as a solution, and they never got back with you, but they would see you cooking, right? So what that lets me know is at that time, you didn't have anything to nurture them, to remind them of what you told them, to keep asking them for the sale, to hit their
Yep.
pain points and all of that, right? The
Mm-hmm.
second thing that you said was, people would be in my funnel for the lashes and then say, but I don't wear those. Okay, well then what that lets me know is your messaging was off, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
if it's a funnel for lashes, right, it should be very clear that it's about lashes. It should be very clear that you're transitioning your audience, right? Because y'all know when you change the message, you change the audience. But the message has to be changed, right? So that people know that even though I know Dr. LaFera for cooking, this thing that she's doing, it has nothing to do with cooking, right? The messaging just has to be even bolder because just yesterday you was doing something else, right?
Oh, those people came from an ad that didn't even know me from like the other stuff. Most
Okay,
of
so
those
that
people
was
did.
definitely messaging then. That's even, to me, that's even worse. Whoever ran the ad, the messaging was not on point for the people coming in.
And that was an agency. That wasn't me at the
That could
time.
be anybody. Yep, that could be anybody. But yeah, but it sounds like you're on the right track now with your funnels, with the ebooks and all of that. But you have to remember that you have to get them up to where you can pitch for the sale. Then you have to remind people of, that's your job. The fact that they heard it one time is not enough. You know, the old statistics was they have to hear it 7 times before they make a buying decision. Now it's 13 times and across different platforms. So it is your job to remind them. So you can't just say, I told them one time, and I mean, they know, so they should just come back if they want it. No, 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 no. That's not how sales works, right? Because even when I have an intention of selling, anything can catch my attention. I mean, an intention of buying, anything to catch my attention to where, I don't have my card right now, or, I'm saying, whatever could be happening. And then I forget to buy. All I need is some type of reminder, an email or whatever, right? I mean, that just happened to me recently. I knew I wanted to buy something, and then I was supposed to buy it. Something interrupted that I don't even remember interrupted because I was gun ho on buying, right? Then I got this email. That's why we also have abandoned cart, right? All the things. We have to use all of these things.
Yep.
So don't forget that.
Yep. Thank you, Shay.
You're welcome. All right, Kimberly Miles, what is your obstacle to selling or sales, I should say? Getting the sale is more important. So put that in the comment for us since you can't come off the mic. Dewana, what is your obstacle to making the sale? Let's see if Dewana can come off the mic. There you go.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Right now, I don't, and you know what my answer about to be. I'm not really sure. And I came in late, so I didn't hear what you were, what the conversation was. And I was just listening to some of the ladies' comments. And the only thing I can think of at this moment is I really don't know at this. I don't know, Shay.
Like I'm trying to force it. It's not coming.
It's not. I'm squeezing it out. It's not coming. It's not coming.
All right, Dewana. We'll go to Dr. Tachi. Dr. Tachi, what's in the way of you making the sale?
In the way of making the sale?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm not quite sure because I'm not quite sure exactly how that fits into the one thing I've been talking about.
The network.
Mm.
So what's been getting so you get creators, but what's been getting in the way of you getting advertisers?
Oh, I haven't put it out there yet.
Okay. So that would be the first thing that we talked about, right, y'all? You're not asking for the sale. So yeah. Okay. So you just need a little more data. So you need to start with asking for the sale and you need a little more data. And that's fine. So thank you, Dr. Tachi.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Shawana, what is getting in the way of you asking for the sale? Not asking for making the sale, I'm sorry. Because if anybody will ask for it, it's this damn Shawana. Let me just tell you. So what's getting in the way of you making the sale?
What it is actually is just even being more present. So since this year have kicked off, I have been doing a number of things to even be seen even more. How about that? To be seen even more and to go deeper while I am still believing that the net is wide, but I am intentionally going deeper. And honestly, in some of the cases, not all, but there is still fortune in the follow-up. So I have to be better about the follow-up. So it's cast a wide net because we know your net worth is your net worth is your net worth. However, I'm going to go deeper all around and doing some follow-up because I believe some of the sales that are hanging out is because of not following back up because that time might not have been as perfect for people because I've learned a long time ago not to count people's pockets. And then, circling back, reminding them of the greatness and why they could be doing more.
Love it. Love it. All right. Dr. Stacy, she said her internet's going in and out. So when you get to me, if I can't come off the mic, understood. So can you come off the mic, Dr. Stacy? Let's just see. I don't think that she can come off the mic. But she said, when I'm consistent, I get sales, but I need help. So yeah, so some of y'all, right? So if you're in the spot where Shawana is and where Dr. Stacy is, where basically what's happening is, and I'm going to even say where I am, what's happening is, if you can get to enough people to ask for the sale, your sales conversion rate is high, but you need to get to enough people, right? That might mean that you need to first check your tech, right? Is it filtering out people before it gets to you, or are you just getting all the people that are primed for the sale and people that are not? So that's the first thing. Look to tech to make sure you're filtering down to you, the people who are most likely to buy. So that's going to be intake forms. That's going to be messaging in emails, messaging when you're presenting your visibility, right? So all of those things. But also, sometimes it's time for people, right? Sometimes it's time for people, either people to help you in your business to free you up to take more calls, okay? Or people to take calls to help filter before it gets to you, okay? So that could be what's going on with y'all. So did I have a chance? Yes, I think I hit everybody. Kimberly, no, Kimberly, somebody must have moved. So Kimberly, you can put in the comments, what is your obstacle to the sale, since we know that you probably can't come off the mic. And then we'll share it with everybody. But let's give some more tips on sales, right? Of course, you have to understand your target audience. Okay, you have to understand your target audience, because some of y'all haven't taken the time enough to go past 5 demographics about the people you're trying to sell to, and that's why you're getting surprised when you try to sell to them and they say something and you have nothing in to retort with, right? You got to know your people. Then you have to, like Shawana said, optimize your online presence, or optimize your presence, period, right? Because you're going to be treated like a commodity unless people think you are somebody. Let me say that again. You're going to be treated like a commodity unless people think that you are somebody. And guess how you become somebody? You build a brand. This is why you pay more money for a purse based on a brand than another purse when all of them can carry your shit, right? Brand. So you got to build your brand. Develop a strong value proposition. You got to kind of articulate how you stand out. Okay. The ladies that took the workshop, you know, we looked at unique value proposition differently, because some of y'all like to just brag about what's good and what's different about you, but you're not giving them enough information to make a buying decision, right? The value that you put out can't just be the value that you're proud of. It has to be the value that you're proud of, that they would be proud of, that would make them help them make a buying decision. Okay. Some of y'all need to refine your sales funnels. We've already kind of talked about that, right? You need to focus on relationship building. Okay, if we go into Teresa's area of expertise, which is what business likes to do when we're talking about marketing and sales, you can't just walk up to somebody and ask them to marry you or ask them to have sex with you, right? I mean, how many people are going to say yes, right? But if you have fostered relationship with people, how many of those people would say yes? You see how that percentage goes up? It's the same thing in sales. The people that you have marketed to but built a relationship with, not just threw shit at them, not just I told you, or I'm cooking, or I sent you this thing, right? Are you building a relationship with them? Y'all love this community because I take time to build relationships, right? When you have a community, you got to do more than just post stuff. Are you communing, right? So build the relationship. Sometimes that's what's wrong. Using your analytics. What's working, what's not. Some of y'all don't know your numbers on stuff. You don't know what content is really gaining attention. You don't know what what value they're really digging and telling you they need more of, because you're not paying attention. You're just coming up with stuff every day, not going back to see what's working and what's not. Okay? So that's another thing. I love to go in. We talked yesterday about marketing. We talked about Neil Patel and how he's saying that, content is not king. Well, that was just, clickbait. Content is still king, but it's the same as it's always been. Good content is king, not just anything that you put out there, right? But I gave y'all some tips on how to stand out with your content. Those tips are going to help y'all to build community. It's going to help you to stand out, right? If you take the complex stuff that everybody is putting out and you take the time to translate it to your people, you're building a relationship, right? When you tell them the things that other people are not telling them, you're building a relationship. I want you to think about in your life the relationships that you build and the people that you're closest to. What's the difference between the people that you're closest to and the people that you're not? Right? You like, know, and trust them. You like, know, and trust them. So have you shown the people they can trust you? Right? Have you given them some of your personality so that they can like you? Do you even show up enough for them to know you? All of that impacts your sales. Okay? So before we get out of here, does anybody have anything they want to say? Kimberly said knowing her audience and going after it is her issue. So Kimberly, I'm hoping that now you know that you need to have 20 to 30 things about your client avatar, your ideal client avatar that you know and that helps you make decisions about it. You got demographics, you got psychographics, you got buying behaviors, you got buying obstacles, you got buying seasons. All of these things help you to know that person, right? You got to know more than they 35 and make $150,000 a year and they got this problem. That's not enough information to help you make decisions. Going back into Teray's area of dating, right? The number one problem that people have when dating is they don't know what gift to buy. Well, that lets you know how much they know that person. If you don't know what to buy me, that lets me know you don't know me, right? So if y'all don't know what to gift them, if you don't know what to sell them or how to sell it, you don't know them well. Okay? And going after it. So everything is not just you asking for the sale. Some of it is your automation asking for the sale. Some of it is, some other things asking for the sale. Okay? Your marketing asking for the sale. All of it is not just you live and in person asking for the sale. So keep that in mind. Teray said, my husband doesn't know what to buy me. He's not, then what we know is he's not paying attention to what you like. You know what I'm saying? And so it's the same thing with our avatars. And I love to give the example, and sometimes we have to be reminded about our avatars, okay? Because one of the things about my avatar is y'all are busy, right? I don't really have time for fluff with y'all. I'm gonna lose you. As soon as I start with fluff, y'all gone. Before I get to the value, you gone, right? Another thing about y'all being busy is I know that I can't do more than 5 days of a challenge, and I prefer 3. Y'all prefer 3, right? So y'all can get to the transformation quicker. I know that when I do series and stuff, I can't go outside of a week. Y'all, one time I tried to do 45 days of some kind of series, and I was trying to figure out why the week 1, everybody was hyped. Week 2, people tape it off. By week 3, wasn't nobody on those posts. And I was like, oh, I forgot my folks busy. They're not going to do 45 days or nothing. You got to know your people. Teray said, and I'm picky. Yeah, but I would still know what to buy you, right? If I know your favorite place, I might not know what to buy you in that place, but I know I can give you a gift card, take you to the place, let you roam around happy, and then take you to get some food, and you good. You see what I'm saying?